Alrighty, we'll call this meeting to order. The first thing in the agenda is the report for retiring officers and election of new officers. There are no reports for retiring officers. So I do make the motion to maintain the same officers from April 2026 through March 2027, with Herbert Johnson serving as board chair, myself as vice chairman, and Ashley Sarver serving as secretary treasurer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Great. Next item was the renewal of staff appointments. I am seeking the board approval for the renewal of the following staff appointments for March 2026 through, or April 2026 to March 2027. Michael Stubby, Ethics Officer, Susan Campbell, EO Officer, Aaron Jenkins, FOIA OMA Officer, and Assistant Secretary, Paula Hughes, DBLO Officer, and Xavier Whitford, Assistant Treasurer.
I'll make the motion for the renewal of the staff appointments.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We move to the approval of the RMTD Board Trustee meeting schedule from April 2026 to March 2027. I make a motion for the RMTD board meetings remain on the fourth Monday of every month at 3:30 p.m. from April 26 to March 2027.
I will second that with the note that I might need to discuss the June meeting date.
Okay. Okay. All in favor? With the discussion of the June 27th, or, yep.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then we move forward, matters of the public. We do have a public speaker, Elaine Theobald. I just want to remind you, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, I wouldn't take that long.
Thank you for coming.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here in regards to the work comp situation that we have going on here. Well, actually the denial or the approval of the work comp. I injured myself within a ramp January 8th of 2025. And it's been over 15 months. And I'm still in limbo about whether or not they're gonna approve or deny my claim. They have the video, they have the doctor's report and all that, but I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going with all of this. And I'm really not getting any answers. And I'm retiring in June. And so I kind of want to know what's the process of, first of all, it's taken too long, but what is the process of this whole situation that I'm going through? And it's probably not only me, probably other drivers as well, but my thing is just for me today. So I just want to ask, can anybody give me any solution as to why it's taken over 15 months to approve or deny my work comp? Because when I pay for my insurance out of pocket, it's supposed to take care of what I need medically when I'm injured away from the job. Anything catastrophic might happen to me. My personal insurance is supposed to cover that. When I get hurt on the job, I feel like workman's comp insurance should take care of that, and I shouldn't be pushed off for it. And even with my vacation, that's even in limbo too, because of this case with this work comp denial or lack of denial or approval. So I just need some answers as to what's going on and how can we rectify this situation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Theobald. I believe we will have staff reached out to Elaine and follow up. Okay, well, thank you very much, Ms. Theobald.
We need to go back and approve the minutes.
Oh, yeah,
That's okay.
okay. The minutes from last month, right?
From March 26th
Oh, thank you.
and April 17th.
Super.
What's this for?
You want to make the motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the minutes for March 2026 and April 2026.
Second.
17th.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we need to,
One note for the board, regarding the agenda, that was previously approved. We'll be removing one item for consideration from the agenda today. E8, your other business, the diesel fuel contract item F. So the board has any questions with that, have to answer them, otherwise to sign that, they're to do it to someone. Okay. All right, without further ado, we'll get into, the agenda. Just a couple notes for the board relative to state and federal affairs. On the federal side, we are still waiting to hear whether there's going to be any movement on the service reauthorization bill that's set to expire at the end of the summer, early this fall. It's election year, and whether something gets out of the committee at the House level and makes it to the Senate, still don't have a crystal ball. Nobody really knows. If the surface reauthorization bill or the current IIJA expires, then, you know, the House and Senate have to take up a continuing resolution this fall. The one concerning matter regarding that is just the level of committed funds that go with that. While our formula funding would continue, the advanced appropriations, which is the other half of the funding package, is set to expire and is not guaranteed to continue. So potentially on the federal side and bus facility side for our capital grant funding, we lose potentially about $1 billion capital funding that's guaranteed in the bonding programs, which those are some that we significantly rely on and have come to rely on over the last several years with funding our replacement vehicles and so forth. So hopefully something comes out of the House and gets considered by the Senate as well, and a new service reauthorization bill is passed. But if not, then, you know, we get into a continuing resolution. It's going to be really a challenging year for capital and following a continuing resolution until a new bill gets passed. Just highlight that we our national organization, APTA, as well as the other advocacy group that we belong to, the Bus Coalition, are working hard to, you know, ensure that funding is maintained, but we'll have to wait and see. At the state level, I think we briefed the board before, we've got a couple items that are being advocated for by our state transit association. One is ensuring that our appropriation levels remain at the set amount that they have been and they're not reduced. There's been some indication that came forward from the governor's budget, but also the advocacy for the funding ratio that came out of the most recent transit bill to be at 75% as opposed to what was passed in the bill, which was 80%, with the understanding that we're looking for a long-term viability of that fund, sustainability of that fund that's going to last much longer than 75%, which was what the association advocated for originally. So some discussions going on with our association and downstate legislators in that matter that we're hoping gets included in a trailer bill in this spring session. But just to clarify, as of now, for IDOT in our budget for next year, because of timing, the ratio will continue to be 80-20, 80% coming from IDOT with a 20% local share. So if the legislation does get changed in the trailer bill, it will not go into effect for this next budget year, which that's the budget that we submitted to the board is the 80-20 ratio. So just want to remind the board. If there's no questions on those matters, we'll get into the regular agenda items. First off, E2, payment bills, invoice from Williams Park, the services running through March 18th of 2026 was in the packet for your review. Are there any questions on that? If none, we'll move on then to the approval of accounts payable invoices. Also included in your packet, total invoices to be approved for this month are $2,127,819. If there's any questions on that, happy to answer. Otherwise, a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the accounts payable invoices.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Then, next time we have the approval of the unaudited financial statements for February and March of 2026 that were included in your packet along with a memo from Xavier outlining the, both of those statements. Xavier, anything you wanted to add?
No, we're pretty much still trending about in favorable aspect for our budget versus our expenses. We will see in our actually May financials a bit of a catch up because of the retro and the new rates being put in. So that might, shrink a little bit, but we'll still be in good shape going forward for the year.
Any questions? Otherwise, a motion to approve both.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the unaudited financial statements for both February and March 2026.
So moved, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the pension portfolio review through March 31st, 2026, and the pension investment statement for a month ending March 31st, 2026. The summaries provided by Jeff DeBenedetto and DeBenedetto and Associates. For your review, any questions on either one of those matters?
No, but it was a nice review of what's been going on, but I'll hope to understand why the numbers look the way they do.
Good. Thank you. There's no other questions on that, then we'll move on to E3, the operations maintenance facilities report. First up, we have the operations report for fixed route and paratransit ridership, along with the vehicle maintenance report and the facilities report, and project report. So Dan, do you want to highlight the items on that?
Sure, yeah, fixed route ridership, we were up March of 26 compared to March 25, 5.5%. Fiscal year to date, we are 2.4% higher than we were at the same time in 2025. Paratransit, we were up 4.6% March of 26 versus 25. And for the fiscal year to date, we're down 1.2%. Operations and planning, we just highlighted some of the service changes that we'll be implementing July of 26. And then also what we are hoping to do October of 26, which based on staffing levels. And then we will have public hearings on all the changes sometime in May, then bring it back to you guys at May board meeting for final approval of the changes. Operator training, we got 4 paratransit drivers that are pretty much on their own at this point. And we started 2 classes of 4 fixed route drivers couple weeks apart, and they're progressing through. James, our trainer, has been very happy with the group we have in, so hopefully they'll stick around and we can get them going here pretty quick. Vehicle maintenance, everything was done per the maintenance plan, and vehicle availability remains generally okay. Facilities, still spend a lot of time working, moving stuff around for phase 2 construction. Seems like every day something comes up that we got to move or redo. So they're spending a lot of time on that, and we're back doing bus stop signs installs. And then we do have some shelters that'll go out to order here yet this week. And once those get here this fall, that'll be our main priority for the building maintenance guys. Facilities expansion, as you probably saw on your way in, there's a whole lot going on downstairs. We should be you're taking the old vault out, the combat vault room, which is right when you walk in on May 6th. So we'll be starting to transition over to the new main entrance because the ramp goes away. Otherwise, they can't get the vault out. So we will be using the new main entrance by the 6th of May.
All for the next.
Yeah, so pretty quickly.
All the tiling's finished, so we get into the accessible entrance and so forth. So we'll have to.
Yep, and then we haven't run service out over there. We haven't transitioned staff over there, so everybody's still reporting here, like we discussed last meeting. Going over there, it's gotten fairly smooth. We still don't have all the garage doors wired up, so we literally have to like open and close the door. It's not automatic, so it's taking some staff obligations early in the morning to let people in and out. But that's a short-term problem. Overall, though, it's gotten fairly smooth. So, and we did include the report from CCS, our project management team, with updates. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
I was just glad to see, we see a little bit of an uptick March, after our cold months, so.
Yes.
It was nice to see that, you know, that coldness was probably
Yeah,
the
I
main.
think, yeah, we had
factor.
back-to-back months there where we had some pretty cold streaks there in a row, so hopefully it continues to trend here as the weather gets nicer.
And then on the service changes, assuming, you know, everything moves forward with that, how do we let the public know? I mean, we'll have the public hearing. Do we do anything additional for notices at the bus stops?
Yeah, we'll do stuff at the shelters. Orlando pushes a bunch of stuff out through our socials and through our apps, through our I want to say Ride Check, but it's not Ride Check anymore, but whatever it is.
Yeah, so we do the public meetings. We'll have two of those. We also do press releases. We'll do those every couple of weeks leading up to the changes, just to let the public know. We'll also make changes in our schedule book. We have changes on the website as well. So we're pushing out a multitude of ways to let our riders know what's going on prior to it going on, and then after it starts happening as well, we'll keep up signage and things of that nature. So
Okay.
In vehicle postings, flyers inside the vehicle. And then we can schedule automated announcements inside the vehicles as well to let them know generally if there's changes coming and that, you know, to follow up the website or contact us on those as well. So try to use a variety of methods to do outreach on those.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, so if there's nothing else on E3, we'll move on to E4, a human resources report, the claims history for March 2026, which was included in the packet for review. Any questions on that report? Didn't want to add anything?
Yes, I believe next month, it's relatively new to both of you, but we should have our quotes for our stop loss carrier. That's the only thing that really changes from year to year, and we try to go with the least expensive option. But our broker did retire in December, so his remaining office staff people are working on it now.
Okay.
In fact, I'll follow up with them after this meeting to make sure we're on track.
Sounds good.
Also just an aside, Dan, you probably want to mention the Drex, for next month,
Next month, we'll bring in the work comp renewal to you guys for approval. And good news, it actually went down.
It go down nicely.
Yes.
So just a couple, while we're on the subject of insurer, that. All right, if there's no questions on the HR report, we'll move on to marketing, E5. So included in your packet was the marketing update, and we had one service approval request. Orlando, you want to cover the update?
yeah, just things highlighted of what we've been doing this month. The main event in there was the Stuff the Bus, and I listed the statistics in there of this was probably the biggest year that they had in the 5 years that we've been involved in it, from a diaper collection standpoint and wipes. So they were extremely happy about that, and we were also happy about being involved with and, you know, extending our arm to the community, along with some other presentations that I listed in there of just, you know, continuously letting the community know what services we have and how we can continue to help and partner with individuals through our channels of help. So that and then at the bottom is talks about some advertisement contracts that we brought in for this month as well. So that summarizes the market update. Any questions?
No, it's great. Great to see out in the community.
Good.
Well,
Yeah.
one question,
Yeah.
going back to the changes in services, how's is our MTD reaching out to our non-native English speakers?
That's a great question, and we are still needing assistance with that. We looked at opportunities of trying to do those things, but we made plans, but those kind of things kind of fell through. We have some drivers as well that's reached out to kind of help me with that. So that's something I need help with, and we need help with too. So if you have some
Let me
resources.
know, I
Yeah.
can help you with the Spanish, I can help you with any other language.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, from a marketing standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, if there's some other outreach efforts that we could be making and connections that you can put us in contact with, then.
Most
by all
definitely.
means, So let us know about that, because that's, you know, something we certainly strive to. We do the website and the schedule book
Yeah.
conversions and so forth, but, you know, just generally marketing that.
Right.
It's always helpful to know what other resources that may be available in the community that we may not be aware of.
Okay.
Appreciate that. All right, special service request.
Yeah, so, two special service requests for the trolley. The weather's getting better, so we're getting more trolley, ask. This is one that we've done a bunch of times before, it's for the city, for both of the parades that's coming up for Memorial Day and the 4th of July. Typically we provide the trolley to be in the parade. And we also have, local legislators, picked up from the city of Rockford that morning, and they're in the parade as well. So all of the men and things of that nature, state representatives, they ride in the trolley. So they're asking for us to do that again, and we've done it before. Staff feel good that we can do it again this year. So asking for your approval for those two.
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve the special service request for the 2 parades.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So moving on then to E6 grants, item to approve the fiscal year 2026 certs and assurances. Paula, you want to cover that?
Sure. This is the federal fiscal year FY 26. Certs and assurances. Usually this is done once a year along with the designation of authority. FTA required us to do that a couple months ago, so that's already been done. Certification and assurances is basically saying RMPD is gonna follow all the laws and federal regulations, as well as all the regulations on the second page. Once you sign, I will take it over to the attorney and they will sign. One little thing that we do is when the attorney signs, they don't really sign about the certs and assurances. They sign permissions for Mike to actually go in and system, our grant system, and pin for the attorney. So we don't have to train our attorney and spend money, have our attorney doing the pen. So they just sign 2 spots and we're done for the year.
So.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I need a motion to approve the certs and assurances.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the federal fiscal year 2026 certifications and assurances.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Only need to forget the fun part. Okay, sorry.
All right, moving on then to E7, the safety and training report. As you can see, we have our March data submitted, fairly good month. Comparatively, at the bottom, you note the safety and training updates, a couple items on there. Direction, you want to touch upon those?
Yeah, the TSA Chicago office, they requested us to participate with them and work through mock disaster drills. Good opportunity for us to learn something about the other areas and to put work practices and policies into play to see how things will work. They've expressed a nice interest in working with us moving forward with some of their training that they're doing, reach out training. So I think they're going to be a very good resource to partner with, and looking forward to it. It's got some good information.
Is that a couple of days of, or how does that?
We are looking right now, trying to set something up in August. So they said, it takes around a month to get the players together and get everything done. So they're probably looking somewhere toward the end of August. Actually, I'm supposed to have a phone call with them a little later this week, and we'll try to flesh out a few more items. But it promises to be some good interest there.
Yeah.
Great. All right, if there's any other questions?
Providing they can keep funding and keep operating.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the only contingency they told me.
Yeah.
If there's no other questions, we'll move on to the next item. E8, other business. So first item we have is the EO summary report for 2025 that was included in your packet. Susan, do you want to go over that, please?
Sure. So this is a snapshot of our workforce in the month of December 2025. As you can see, down in the bottom couple of rows, we have a relatively good diversity at this time in our country. We're not really setting any EEO goals. However, personally, I think we continue to strive to have a good diverse makeup of our workforce. You can see we're at 178 employees then. I think that we're holding right around 185 now. So we've had some good hiring and retention of late. It's great.
So, any questions on this?
Who does this get reported to, or is it just for internal?
This particular report is just for you, but I do something that's a little bit more in depth. It goes to the EEOC, but I'm not sure if that's happening this year. I did it last year, do it once a year.
Based on what the new requirements.
If requested, I will provide.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, there's a little bit of a, the EEO plan and the reports are, as Susan indicated, there's some varying directives. So, there's no questions or further questions, we'll move on to the next item. Approval of the drug and alcohol policy revision.
We made some very minor changes in our most recent contract negotiations with the ATU. I've gone ahead and made those same changes for administrative employees who are considered safety sensitive. I did just do yellow highlighting. I don't know if you're aware, we do have what is called a second chance program, meaning that if a person has a violation, they have the ability to go through rehabilitation services with a substance abuse professional. There's a lot of subsequent testing when they return to the workplace. We're now requiring the employee to pay for those tests to get them to be a little bit more invested in the program. We also, in the last few years, have had a lot more people testing positive for marijuana, shockingly. While marijuana is legal at the state level, it is still illegal at the federal level. So we just want to make sure that people are invested in wanting to come back to work. So there's only a couple of places where you'll see the yellow highlighting, and those were the only changes made. But I believe we need a motion to approve that policy change.
I'll make a motion to approve the drug and alcohol policy revision.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of the Boone County Urban Demand Response Service Agreement, Second Amendment. So memo included in the packet outlining Second Amendment, which, going back to our budget preparation process, we have an agreement with the Boone County Council on Aging to provide urban demand response services in Boone County. Their agreement term was 5 years, 3 years with 2 one-year options. We're at the final year of the options, but we have the opportunity and ability through that contract to extend based on written agreement from both parties, and both parties agree to extend. And so we are proposing to do so at an adjusted rate, of which we did a price analysis around to verify that it was fair and acceptable change for inflationary purposes. That rate was included in the budget that we prepared and submitted to the board. They approved, and so therefore, with the second one attached here, we're requesting approval to execute.
I'll make a motion to approve the Boone County Urban Demand Response Service Agreement, Second Amendment.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Next item we have is the award of the tire lease. Memo also included in your packet. Dan or George? Dan?
I guess it's me. Our tire contract, so we lease our tires instead of buying them outright, so we pay per mile per tire. Much easier to budget that way. So our current contract with Brigstone is up. We did solicit bids. You'll see we only got 1 bid back, which is from Brigstone, which is, as I mentioned, is the incumbent. So we will ask them to provide us some documentation that they've charged others about the same amount or hopefully more, just to justify the price since it's a sole source. So we've been with Brigstone for about 25 years, so good working relationship. So staff is recommending that we issue a PO at Brigstone and enter into a 3-year agreement at the prices noted on the memo.
And then in terms of the rates, this year's rate is within the budget
Correct.
amount that we had projected, right?
Yep.
Is it typical we only get a single response?
No, it's the
for
first
this
time.
call?
This is the first time. I think, it takes a lot of work for people to put these together. And I think Goodyear has probably looked at it and said, we've never got it in the last 25 years, so they don't put the effort in to do it, so. And we do reach out to the people who didn't bid, and I haven't seen the results, but we do reach out when we only get 1 bid. We reach out to people who pick up packets to ask them why they didn't bid, to make sure we weren't too restrictive. So we always kind of double check ourselves that way, make sure we didn't do something that prohibited them from bidding.
Sure.
One of those pesky regulations we were just mentioning.
Mhm. Okay. I'll make a recommendation to enter into the 3-year agreement with Bridgestone for tire leasing.
Is that a motion or a recommendation?
The motion.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, okay.
I might have said recommendation, but I meant the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Great, thank you. And then, word of mobile hoist, Dan.
I'll take that one too. We went out to, bid for some, mobile hoist. We had some federal capital money. $50,000 obligated for that, so no local funds would be needed. We did get 2 quotes on the exact same hoist, and you can see that SLE Technologies was a low bidder at $49,299.00. So staff is recommending issuing a purchase order to SLE Technologies in that amount for a set of portable hoist.
I will make the motion to move forward with SLE Technologies in the amount of $49,299.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, good. We're in executive session, so.
And our next meeting is already, confirmed for Wednesday, May 27th at 3:30 on your calendar, okay?
Something more.
We will go into, executive session to discuss the semi-annual review of executive session meeting minutes pursuant to 5 ILCS 122C21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
I'll make a motion to move into executive session.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to move out of executive session.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make the motion to keep the executive meeting minutes confidential, listed as they are in the memo.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And we are at the end of the agenda.
And then we just need to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4:07.
Thank you.
That's a quick one.
That's